Howdy. Welcome to Lunchtime Lessons with Sam's. I guess that's what we're calling it. I don't know. If you're new here, if you don't know me, I am in CRNA school. I have been a nurse since 2011. I spent 5 years in the medicine ICU, and then I spent 3 or 4 years in the critical care float pool, going all over the hospital. I worked at a level 1 trauma center. And then at that same facility, I became a nurse practitioner in the ICU. We were credentialed to do intubation, central lines, arterial lines, other procedures, whatever. I have been doing clinicals since May of this year. And there's a lot of times I live outside my comfort zone. My stress levels are always at a maximum. It is just the way that this program and this educational path works, right? So yesterday, at the end of my day, one of the surgeons called and told the nurses that they were going to come put a central line in and wanted them to check with me to see if I wanted to do it, right? Because at the end of the day, even though I've done them in my previous job in an amount that I couldn't even easily quantify for you, probably a couple of hundred, if not more, I still have to get so many for my clinical rotations, right? So they know that, and they know that we're always willing to, stick people or do whatever to try to get those numbers in. And so he called down there, and I had assumed he'd probably heard from the other surgeon that I did them before because I did one with her. And I'm assuming, going into this, I'm assuming that's what he knows, and so he's like, hey, she needs the numbers, she's done them, I'm going to call her and see if she wants to come over. But that wasn't the case at all, right? Like, this guy got down here, and he just knew that as a CRNA student, I needed to do them, and so he was willing to teach me to do so, which is super kind, especially, you just don't meet a lot of people that are willing to step out and take a little extra time to show you how to do something if they aren't really required to, right? So I get in there, and I'm going to be really honest. At the beginning, I was pretty frustrated just because I was like, if he just let me do this, it'd be done. I would, whatever. Now, the patient was pretty sick, and they were pretty dehydrated, so their IJ wasn't the plumpest it could be for this procedure. Now, mind you, this doctor's been a surgeon for 760 billion years. I'm pretty sure he took care of Methuselah and all of them. But he was so willing to teach, and it was really cool. And he actually, this is pretty crazy, he actually did the procedure a different way than I'd ever done it. Now, is it enough to change my practice? Maybe not. Is it something I'll never try? No. But it definitely was cool to see how somebody else did it and and let them teach me how to do that, right? And I feel like in healthcare, once we've started reaching toward the more expert end of the spectrum and less towards the novice, we get really set in our ways, and we do things that we're comfortable with in the way that we're comfortable with. And, I've had to step outside that for CRNA school altogether. I live at a high level of stress. Clinicals are stressful. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm still living in fight or flight, right? It's just the nature of the beast. But it was really cool for somebody to take time and be willing to, teach you something, especially because I knew enough about the procedure that I could really focus on the nuances of the way he does it differently. And I feel like that was a real benefit. But I guess the takeaway should be that it doesn't matter. You can learn from everybody in life, whether it's somebody with less experience than you, somebody that came from a different field than you, whatever. Once we decide that we can no longer learn from the people around us, I feel like you've cut yourself off at the knees as far as being able to become a better clinician or practitioner or nurse or whatever your journey in the world is. If you decide that you can no longer be taught or learn, then what are you doing, right? You might as well hang it up. So it was just kind of cool. It was really cool. Like I said, I don't think it'll necessarily change my practice, but it definitely exposed me to a new method. And honestly, I appreciate that. That's one of the things that I appreciate most about doing this program is I just get to learn more about different things. I think I'm a better nurse practitioner than I was before starting anesthesia school. Some of that might be experience. Other, I think, is just more education. but it definitely changes the way you think quite a bit. So that's my lesson. Whether you've been a nurse for 12 weeks or 10 decades, let's be real, 12 years, 20 years, whatever, I feel like there's always things to learn from other people. So do with that what you will. Go out and be great, I guess. Have a good Thursday. I think it's Thursday.